Hello everyone, this is Team42, and I will do a brief presentation about how to use our application and the scenarios it can support. The front end is developed on Vue.js and can adapt to most of the browsers. You can just type the IP address here, as long as you are in University of Melbourne or using VPN such as Cisco. Now I'm using Safari and Cisco here. When typing into the address, we can see the welcome page here, and there is some information below, such as our GitHub link. Our application contains streaming scenarios, the streaming data, the RESTful and historical data, and the data comparison part, where we present Twitter data aggregated with our data. Our topic is about the food in Melbourne. We want to make investigation about the attitude of people towards food to find out whether they are good or not, which represents a great important part of the livability of the city. By clicking the navigation bar on the top, we can step into the scenario. In the first scenario, we consider doing a live food-related social media data crawling presentation, where in this page, we present the most up-to-date tweeters in Melbourne if they are food-related. We categorize the data by the food origin place, and you can select which type of food to browse. If you want to see some American food, you can just click the button here, and all of the related data will be displayed. You can see that there are some pictures of cheesecakes and homemade burger. Each section of the list on the right can be clicked to open up a new window. Also, we can check what is in the Mexican food category, and we can find taco. Yeah, we can find taco here, which means that the filter rule of the categorization works well. It should be noted that there is a map on the left to show where the tweets are posted. To some degree, it reveals the location of the restaurant on the place where the food is produced. We can observe that there are some clusters. You can see clusters, clusters, and if you zoom out, there are clusters here, here. We can observe that there are some clusters, especially in the city of Melbourne, where most of the restaurants are located. There are tons of tweeters here. A more developed area means a more better city facilities, such as restaurants. That makes sense, right? In summary, this scenario, the first scenario, proves that the application is working well and can present the newest data. Also, it uncovers some interesting facts, such as the cluster. Yeah. Then let's talk about the second scenario. We want to investigate the opinion of the people about food they can have, and we are going to analyze the content of Twitter data. Using the natural language processing techniques, we will categorize the food-related tweets into two dimensions, the positives and the negatives. You can see the positive and negative, which kind of reflect satisfaction or the attitude toward a specific kind of food. We can make use of the historical data provided by the professor and the RESTful API supported by Twitter to collect data from 2014 to 2017 and from 2020 to now. User can select a time period and the data type to know about the satisfaction rate of that period towards either type of food. It is worth mentioning that the distribution of Twitter will still follow the pattern of scenario 1, though the data difference is different, like we check. You can see that we select China and RESTful and the 3 months period here. And we can see the dots are displayed on the map. And here we can see the satisfaction rate is 74%. Also, we can change to another one. We can check the historical data of American food in 6 months. Yeah, it follows the same pattern, right? The blue dots represent the positive tweets, while the red dots represent the negatives. By observing the results calculated by the application and the color partition displayed by the map tool, we can tell that the satisfaction rate of every type of food is around 70% to 80%. While with the Well, with the decreasing number of samples, the result might not be accurate or representative. Let's see that for Ukraine data, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, there is rare Ukraine data, and there are only one tweet, so the positive rate is 100%. That is not accurate or representative. But for more common types, such as food from China, let's say China, maybe 3 months. Yeah, for the data like that, the results are consistent and convincing. You can see the 74% here. After investigating the opinion of people about food, we want to know the inner reason. Knowing that Melbourne has a great migrant population, then a question came to our mind. What is the correlation among the nationality of people, their attitude toward each type of food, and the changing trend of restaurant number in Melbourne? Several datasets on the orange can be made use of, such as the census data from IGA profile. And also, there is some restaurant data from 2002 to 2017. This is for city of Melbourne. The data here help us know about the composition of population, and the data here help us know the restaurant number trend. From the graph above, we can see that most of the people are born in Australia, while the top 5 foreign countries are China, India, England, Vietnam, and New Zealand, followed by lots of other countries from Southern Asia and Eastern Asia. Though there are some people who are born in Australia, but their parents or grandparents or ancestors are not local. Their eating habit might be affected. We consider that these kind of cases have the same overall effect on the data. The summary of the tree's attitude here are given to remind of the satisfaction rate of each food type. Well, some food types have rare data and they are dropped, such as the Ukraine one. We categorize the restaurant and display the increasing trend of the number of them. The overall number is increasing. And it shows that the Southern Asia, Eastern Asia, and Europe are the top 3 restaurant types that are popular, which matches the composition of population in Melbourne. We must clarify here that the high number of Australian food type is due to a great number of cafes. And if we just look at the foreign food, you can see that the trend and the quantitative relationship is more clear. Then we can draw a conclusion about the correlation among the nationality of people, the attitude toward each type of food, and the changing trend of restaurant number in Melbourne. The variety of food type has a relationship with the nationality composition of food in Melbourne, which you can see that in the first scenario, second scenario, and the first graph here. Well, the satisfaction rate stay at a high level from 70% to 80%. Yeah, which means that most of the people hold positive attitude toward the food. The diversity and high quality of food in Melbourne improve the livability of Melbourne so that the restaurant number keep increasing. This phenomenon is more observable in the more developed areas, such as the city of Melbourne, where these data sources are located. Because we have more migrant population here and there are more restaurants. That is all for our application. Thank you for watching.